All right, Senator McCain, welcome to the News Now set.
Thank you. It's a great little set you have here. A little lash up there. Great. Yeah.
Well, this is the future. It's the internet. We're live streaming. I feel like more people under 35 are watching things online or on their phones or on their iPads.
Do you know, I have young people on my staff that do not own a television set, and neither do you.
I don't have cable. I cut the cord. I watch Hulu. I watch Netflix. I don't have cable TV.
It is the future. In the last debate, I am told that Snapchat had more traffic than any other medium.
Wow. So
that's what I was told.
Snapchat had more traffic during the last debate. Are they just snapping bits and parts and people are making their own stories?
That's what I was told.
Are you on Snapchat?
Of course.
Really?
Of course, yeah.
I really want to pull up your Snapchat right now.
All
I mean,
right.
these weren't part of my prepared questions at all, but I'd much rather talk to you about social media.
Oh, it's
I
amazing.
love your policies as well and all of
Thank
that.
you.
But
it's amazing. It's amazing.
So I know there's also viewer questions that are coming in. Team McCain is the Snapchat.
Team McCain.
We're going to find that right now.
Or oldgeezer.com.
Do you have a snap right now that's happening? Team McCain. I'm not even Can someone find it on my Snapchat? Because I'm not I just joined Snapchat, I'll be honest, about a couple of weeks ago because I realized everyone was on Snapchat and Twitter was kind of becoming
old hat for
so,
old people.
So last decade.
They're going to get it for you. But it's really important.
Mm-hmm. So, Senator McCain, we have a live feed right here where a lot of the viewers are saying hi. Alfredo saying, OMG, it's finally happening. Hi, Senator McCain. Frankie chiming in. Nice to meet you. A ton of people chatting in the chat room.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, they're very excited because so often we carry different events that you hold here in Phoenix on News Now. We stream it live.
Wonderful.
One of the events that for me is the most memorable, it was, I want to say back in March or April, you were holding a press conference here in Phoenix and you were talking about Kayla Mueller. And there was this moment where you just got really emotional, and I know for a fact that I was just really touched by that moment. And one thing I've noticed a lot with some politicians is they are becoming more personable while campaigning. For example, Joe Biden getting emotional while on Stephen Colbert. How important do you think that personability is to the campaign and actually showing emotion?
As long as it's legitimate. You and I have seen in the past other times where politicians have gotten, quote, emotional and I think people can tell whether it's legitimate or not. Look, I'll admit to being emotional over Kayla Mueller. I know her parents so well. It's just, it's heartbreaking. But frankly, I don't, almost never do I get, quote, emotional over an issue because I think they deserve a dispassionate and objective assessment. But frankly, Kayla Mueller, look, sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night thinking about her. It's just, here's a young woman who wanted to do good in the world. She wanted to do the right thing. She wanted to devote her life to helping others. Look, I'm going to get emotional again, so let's talk about something else.
We could get really, I mean, they're working on Snapchat over there. We can completely shift.
There's Snapchat right now.
I don't think we've ever had such a dramatic shift from like, we're going to talk about what's happening in the Middle East. Okay, so, oh no. I think you played it and now I can't replay it, is how Snapchat works. This is, do you have your actual phone? Can I just look? Right,
anyway.
All the technical issues. All the viewers in the chat room have questions. So if you don't mind, we can take a couple of viewer questions. Alfredo saying, Senator McCain, what is your current view on the educational system in Arizona and what is the Arizona Senate doing to improve it?
The Arizona Senate, you know, the U.S. Senate, we just passed a bill through the United States Senate that does away with Common Core. It does, however, give states the ability to make their own assessments of education. It obviously shows greater support for charter schools, as there's a number of provisions to this new legislation, and I'd be glad to send it to you. It's not through the House yet, but it's really, I think, an important breakthrough there's a backlash against Common Core
Right.
up there. And what this does, it does away with Common Core. No bureaucrat in Washington is going to make that decision.
Right.
But they still provide states with the ability to make judgments as to the progress of their students.
Right, because the states have their own rights, and the
Exactly.
government, has their role as well. You mentioned
Exactly.
the House. I have to ask the question. It's kind of chaotic there right now with the decision for Speaker of the House. What's your take on that?
It's hard for me to judge because I'm not over there,
Right.
and senators are snobs. But I think that I hope they work it out, and I hope that. And I know this sounds silly almost, but I'd like to sit down with my counterparts in the House and say, look, what can we agree on? How can we set an agenda that elects a Republican president and keeps our majorities? Let's stop fighting with each other. Ronald Reagan had a thing called the 11th Commandment, and that was you don't speak ill of your fellow Republicans. That doesn't mean you always agree with your fellow Republicans, but you don't attack their character and their
Right.
integrity and all that. So I'd like to get back to Ronald Reagan's 11th Commandment.
And that's the thing. That's what we're seeing a lot of with the Republican presidential candidates. There's a lot of attacking.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I
that's
know.
probably going to hurt. Do you think that's going to hurt the party
Those-
come
listen,
the 2016 election?
It's bound to, if you're a Democrat
Right.
and a guy calls somebody a dummy, and all those things,
Right.
then you may see that in a commercial for the Democrat candidate.
Right.
So it's just unfortunate. We're going through an unfortunate time, but I'm proud of a lot of things we have done. We
Right.
just talked about this Common Core issue and others, but these are rocky times.
Right. Let's see. I think they're trying to get this. Oh. Okay. We have figured it out. I still don't see it. Am I just not Snapchat savvy? Am I the one that's behind now? I feel like
She
I'm so
comes.
behind on technology now if I can't even figure out Snapchat. There it is. Okay, so we're going to watch
Okay.
this now. We're going to
Yeah.
show the viewers. I'm going to turn up the volume. I've never seen what your snap is for the day. So we're going to do this, guys, right now. So, great interview with Mike Broomhead, hashtag AZSen. And then the next one's going to come up. Quick Starbucks stop before my next interview. I have to know what your favorite drink is, Senator McCain.
Cappuccino.
Cappuccino?
Yeah, just cappuccino. None of this
Fancy
stuff
stuff?
like cinnamon dolce latte frou-frous.
You would never want to go to a coffee shop with me then. Fun morning with Steve and Nina at KMLB.
Yeah.
Very
Camel
cool.
Country, that was cool.
And this one doesn't have a text. What was going on here?
That was in New Hampshire. No,
No, that's here.
that's greeting volunteers. That's greeting volunteers
Oh.
at our headquarters.
Okay, kicking off the lunch hour at Telemundo Phoenix.
Yep, did an interview there at Telemundo Phoenix. Long interview.
And then Newsmaker Sunday, taping Newsmaker
Newsmaker
Sunday with
Sunday.
John Hook. You guys,
Yes.
that guy looks familiar to our viewers.
Yeah, I'm sure they've never seen him before.
That is so cool.
And then
Oh,
next,
stopping by News
there's
Now.
us.
And there we are.
There
we have
we
just
are.
made
Huh?
the Snapchat. That is so
Isn't that
cool.
fun?
Yeah, it's so cool. I feel like it's great. You're more Snapchat savvy than I am.
Oh, well, listen, you'll learn. And when you grow older, you'll learn.
I'll figure it all out. Senator
By the way,
McCain,
I would point out that this is changing the world. It's
is.
not just changing Arizona. I promise you, around the world, young people are doing these things, and I believe that when you spread information, you spread knowledge, you
Right.
get a better world. This is the biggest change. The social networking
Right.
is the biggest change since the invention of the printing press.
Wow.
Believe me.
I believe that. I mean, I remember just a few years ago the role that Twitter played, in terms of revolutions in the Middle
yeah.
East. You look at Egypt, you look at various. I remember when everyone was turning their Twitter profile picture green, I think, for Iran, I want to say. If I remember.
It was when they shot a young woman named Neda in the square, and over the internet, people saw her lie there and bleed to death.
Awful.
That had a huge impact. Huge impact.
So awful. But it's true. I mean, more information comes out on Twitter than any other media platform. I remember hearing about Osama bin Laden's death on Twitter before President Obama had announced it.
Yeah.
And, it being the rumor all over the internet as well.
Well, it's remarkable, and there are a lot of downsides to it, and you know it too.
There's
Privacy, the cloak of anonymity. Some of the tweets I get, honestly, I wonder why. What have I done?
People are mean on the internet.
You know, I mean, it's just so angry and mean and hateful. I don't hate anybody. Well, anyway, but hardly anybody.
What does it take to get said? What does it take to hate someone? What does someone have to do to you for you to hate them?
Do what Baghdadi and ISIS is doing.
Right.
You know, they're capturing young women, particularly young women, and trafficking them. I hate that. I hate them. I want to kill them.
Right.
And maybe that's not a Christian statement, but I hate them and I want to kill them.
Well, because they do, and the way they're so, it's bragging about it. It's ostentatious. It's on display. It's awful.
Say that it's accepted in the Muslim
It's
faith.
not at all.
You know, so
I mean,
So I hate them.
Yes.
Okay. And Bashar Assad, I hate, who has killed 240,000 of his own citizens with these things called barrel bombs. Now, my friends, a lot of you who are watching this don't know what a barrel bomb is. It's a very large cylinder, about 10 feet long, and it's packed with explosives and shrapnel, like nuts and bolts and screws.
Right.
They drop it, and it explodes about 10 feet above the ground, so that the shrapnel and stuff just tears men, women, and children. It is awful, and we need to stop it.
What do they get by killing their own people? I don't understand this.
Control.
But I mean,
stay control. Stay in charge.
But why kill? Can't you
Because
get power without killing?
That's the way you intimidate and drive your opponents into submission. Kill a lot of them.
Well, I mean, yeah, for example, the issue in Syria, there was that picture of the little boy, and now suddenly the world is paying attention to
washing
Syria.
up on the shore. And my friends, whether you want to know it or not, these things didn't happen by accident. It was the policies of withdrawal leading from behind by one Barack Obama. History will judge him very, very harshly. One more question.
I know we have
my
to
folks
wrap up.
One more comment.
I do want to get a Snapchat in.
One
too.
Snapchat in.
A lot
real
of
quick.
people are asking questions here, but I'm getting a question from my assistant news director. Can I ask you this
Sure,
one?
sure.
You're a baseball fan. Do you think this is the year for the Cubs?
No.
Oh my God.
Hope springs eternal, and everybody wants the Cubs, and we're so sentimental over the Cubs and all that. I still think the St. Louis Cardinals are awfully, awfully hard to beat. We're all glad that we're now jumped on the Cubs bandwagon. But one more important to me is if we get some pitching, you're going to see the Diamondbacks in the playoffs and go a long way. We've got the nicest young man in baseball, and we got the finest young man in Paul Goldschmidt. And Pollock is not far behind. If we get some pitching, I guarantee you we're going to be good. Watch the Coyotes. They've won 2 in a row, which nobody ever predicted. Let's go out and support them. Shane Doan, the greatest guy. Watch Larry Fitzgerald. He's an old man, and look at what he's doing.
The Cardinals.
Now, all we need is something from the Suns. Robert Sarver. How are we going to do with the Suns? Okay. All right.
Well, and I mean, I'm a Cardinals fan by default because they have 2 USC quarterbacks, and I'm a Trojan, so.
You know, my wife went to the University of Spoiled Children, just like you did.
Senator McCain. You did not go
right.
there.
Yes.
You went there. Okay.
Yes, indeed.
She's a big fan of
Yeah, well, also, they got a little coaching problem over there in Trojan Land.
Oh
now.
my
Did you
gosh.
notice
Oh,
that?
I did.
A little coaching problem. It would be like somebody coming in and taking John Hook's job, which some of us have been hoping for years, for decades. Haven't you?
Well,
All right. Thanks, Samia.
all right. Well, it was good
Love
seeing
being
you.
with you. Love
And
being back with John
it
Hook.
was so fun. I know Newsmaker is on Sunday morning, so everyone can
I
watch your
knew
full
that.
interview with John
Yes.
Hook there. Thanks for stopping by.
If you happen to have a nightmare and wake up, go ahead and click on the Channel 10 Newsmaker Sunday, okay?
And
All
we
right.
post the whole thing online too. So
Online.
eventually people will be able to watch. So what I'm going to do, if you don't mind, I'd love to take a Snapchat with you.
That'd be great.
I'm just going to play a video for our viewers in the
Okay.
meantime. Did you see this, by the way? Actually, I'll put this
saw
video
that.
up, or this photo up. It's a photo that we showed the viewers earlier, but the VA is lying, obviously a hot topic.
Yeah.
And you talked about it with
John and I talked about it at length. The VA's got a long way to go. We got to give every veteran a choice card. But,
All right. So I'm going to show you guys this photo. Walk Senator McCain out, and I'll be back with you guys in a little bit.